Hi guys, and welcome back to Turf Moorhouse TV. I'm joined by the lovely Doug, who, as you can see from clearly been to a shit shirt convention, is donning his Liverpool t-shirt. I mean, how have you been, mate?
I'm doing good, thank you, Dan. Yeah, this is one of my actual favorite ones. Like
It is
last
quite
season's,
nice.
well, it's last season's one, so I really do like this one. But yeah, I'm doing very well. I'm looking forward to the game on Saturday. It'll be nice to have fans back as well. But I hope you're doing good. And yeah, but we're just obviously speaking off air that our days of work kind of drag, so it's nice to get back and get into the YouTube routine thing of things.
Oh, trust me, the routine's absolutely madness today. Like, obviously, it's Burnley against Liverpool. There's not that many Burnley fans online, so I've got 5 podcasts to get through. So it's literally I'm just going to be like chewing whatever's shoved under the bedroom door. To be honest with you, that's classed as my tea tonight. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you're new around here, please do hit the like and subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot. Also, thank you very much. We have hit 150 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. I said it a while back when we hit 100 that if I manage to hit 150 by the end of the season, I'll be very happy. We're only 2 games in; it's already been hit. So hopefully, I'll up it 200 by the end of the season. I mean, that might be a big push, but we'll certainly try. We'll give it a go and we'll fire out some content. As I said, the more subscribers, the better the content, the more stuff we'll be able to do. Obviously, we're over 150 now. Thanks to this man here, Paul. Good afternoon. Hope you're well. Thanks for tuning in. As soon as I put up that we got 150, he came in and said, "I'm surprised I wasn't subscribed already." So you've on 151 now. So yeah, cheers for that. Couple of comments. The missus says, "Congrats on 150 subs." Thank you. I mean, no better remark from your biggest fan is there than that. Kraji says the excitement late again. Yeah, sorry. Sometimes you just get chatting off air, and it's nice to just have a casual chat. It's just nice. Anyway, don't worry, we didn't leave you hanging too long. And yeah, I hope you do like the intro. As I say, it's an absolutely brand new intro. It may be it's definitely going to stay for a while. Put it that way. It's for the season anyway. We'll see.
I
But yeah,
must say, I must say,
151.
I did like the old school Burnley kit though. Like I remember that kit. That's early 2000, 2001. That I remember that because obviously from watching like Premier League years, you obviously remember like Paul Gascoigne, I think, signed for Burnley.
Yeah, he did.
So,
Yeah,
so I remember that kit very fondly. So yeah, I like the intro. I really do like that intro. So yeah, just keep that intro, I would say.
yeah. Fingers crossed, we'll do. I mean, you're here to obviously talk Liverpool, Burnley. First of all, Doug, you know, shout out your channels. Shout out what you've got coming up.
Well, in let's see, in about an hour and 50 minutes, you'll be coming on my channel to speak about the game.
Oh, that's a
So
surprise. I didn't know that.
yeah. So yeah, there's that. My channel is the Dugout Football channel. I do lots of content. Do English Premier League content, Liverpool previews, Liverpool match reactions as well. SPFL, Bundesliga. I think I've done I did the Euros. I've got doing World Cup as well. Probably African Cup of Nations as well. Knowing me as well. So I'm just a basic football channel. Come and check me out.
Yeah, everybody, as he says, please do head on over there. Show Doug's channel some love. It'd be absolutely outstanding. Does a lot of work. As I say, he doesn't just cover the Premier League, covers many a different league. And he's very knowledgeable on it as well, which is always key if you're going to cover something, which I don't know why I'm doing a Burnley channel because I know jack shit. So, um, and that's not just about Burnley, I just don't know jack shit. Mark's here, bloody hell, limbs, I know, mate, absolute limbs. We're just throwing shapes around here like madness, mate. But hope you're well. Thanks for tuning in. So, first of all, let's start off. I mean, last season, towards the end, where the heck did that come from?
Yeah, you telling me, man. Um, I remember the draw with Leeds United because that was the game where obviously all the the Super League rubbish was coming out, and we didn't know if that was our friendly or like our last ever game in the Premier League. So there was that, and then I think the Newcastle draw was the week after that, and then you know I said after those two games I thought right, top four's gone, and then just something was said in the changing room after that, and we went on an 8 match winning run, including wins over like I think it was Manchester United. I think Aston Villa was one of them as well. Obviously, you guys at Turf Moor. Um, it was a mad period of it. But yeah, to finish third, especially with all the injuries that we had. But as I keep saying, injuries weren't really an excuse for me. It was more about the lack of goals. Yes, obviously we managed to get top four eventually, and to get third was amazing considering that from where we were. I think we were at eighth with about 13 games to go, and I think with 8 wins out of 10 games, absolutely madness.
It were. I mean, you were with us for our end of season review. You even saw on that video, at the time I filmed that, there was 3 or 4 games left of the season. And as I say, Everton were in ninth. I think you were in eighth. Literally,
Yeah.
it was just a close run thing. And that's what I'd said. And I had to edit it and add things in and say, where the heck did that run come from? It was absolute madness. Nobody expected that. And I suppose following on from that question, do you think you can carry on that form? I mean, you've started well against Norwich. Can you continue
Hmm.
what you basically started at the end of last season?
Uh, hopefully. I mean, the one thing I want from this season is to basically just challenge it. Is challenge for this, the title. Not win it. I don't think we're good enough to win it. But although, I know Man City have lost their first game, but then again, they've got Norwich at the weekends. You'd expect them to win it. So I would like that. I'd like to see. I'd like us to see. Oh, thanks, Stephen. Yeah, I have actually. I have actually. I just noticed that
Yeah,
there.
I'm on Stevens at 8. That I'm everywhere. I'm all over the Liverpool YouTube scene. I'm practically like one YouTube away from being a social media beetle. I think that's probably about it.
But no, I thought. I think we can. I think we can. I think if we manage to get the form that we've been showing from where we left off last season, and I think we can. It's all about if we can do it. I think we've got a squad that is capable of challenging it on all 4 fronts. Hopefully, maybe get a couple of board buddies, and if we don't get anyone else in, then I'm like, okay, Klopp knows best with his squad anyway. So, but yeah, I'd like to at least challenge City. I'd like us to give another go in the Champions League. I think we went out too early last season, in my honest
Yeah,
opinion. I think going out to a poor Real Madrid side in the end, and you know. Klopp and Dice don't do cups, do they? So I'd like to have a wee go in the League Cup and maybe the FA Cup. But yeah, for me, I think if we can get a top two and then gradually see if we're close towards City or not, it's going to be a very interesting season. I think this is probably the most competitive season ever because you've obviously got City, you've got Liverpool, you've got Chelsea, you've got Manchester United, you even got Leicester in there as well. So top four is going to be very, very interesting, I think.
yeah. You've also got fans back in stadiums, which is going to be pivotal for some teams as well. The way Liverpool come out and at Anfield, when you sing "You Never Walk Alone," it literally rings around Liverpool, let alone just Anfield. Um, it's one of them songs that I can understand opposition fans hate. It's one that you can't hate, in my opinion. It's I
Hmm.
suppose for myself personally, my nana had it at a funeral, so it's kind of got a meaning to me as well.
Aye.
Um, so I mean, touching on the subject, Patrick says Liverpool will walk alone this season. Um, he says it's an easy win for Burnley and says 2-1. I mean, who knows? Burnley at Anfield, we love going there as the underdog. We'll say Mark says, nah, we're winning it. Glory, glory, Man United. Don't worry, I understand your little text talk between you Manx, even though you're Welsh, but yeah, fair enough. Hope I'm pronouncing it right. I think it's Kane. If Liverpool were to get anyone else in, I'd want it to be a backup right back. We don't want a repeat of 18-19 when we loaned out Clan at the worst time. Trent went down within a week.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, I was going to touch on that. I mean, regarding your transfer business, where do Liverpool, in your thoughts, need to strengthen? And secondly, is it only Konate that's come through the door?
Yeah, it is. It is Kanati that's just come through the door. I think it's more about outgoings now. I think Shaqiri, is about to go to Lyon. Seems to be agreeing negotiations with Lyon. I believe what's his name? Nat Phillips, I believe, is being linked with Southampton, which wouldn't surprise me either. They need a replacement for Vestergaard. And the other one is Origi, but he seems to be very, very. I don't know. I don't know what the phrase is, but he seems very, very reluctant to want to leave. So he's only got 1 year on his contract left. So I think he wants to run down his contract. But where do we need striker? Definitely, badly need a striker, because I think Origi, for me, whenever I see him play last season, he looked really, really disinterested. So I think striker. Obviously, we haven't replaced Wijnaldum. We definitely need another midfielder. But I think if we get another midfielder, I think somebody else is going to have to go out as well. But I would agree with what Cian said. Right back. I think you'll probably see Joe Gomez as a potential backup to Trent this season. In all honesty,
it's not a bad shout.
I don't see Neco Williams going at the moment. There has been talks that there's talk actually he was going to go to Burnley as well, which I think would have been quite an interesting wee move for him. But no, I think it's probably midfielder and striker we definitely need to strengthen.
Yeah, obviously, speaking of midfielders, there's a lot of talk about Mohamed Salah and a new contract. I mean, as a Liverpool fan, do you just give him a blank check and say, put down what you think you're worth? Or do you think it will, the numbers that are being banded around for Salah, do you think it could cause upset amongst the ranks at Anfield?
It's a very, very good question. I think keep Salah at all costs. I think there's going to be a time where he's going to leave eventually, but his numbers are absolutely astronomical. I believe if he gets 1 or 2 goals of the weekend, I believe he's 100 Premier League goals and 160 appearances, which is mind blowing.
That is.
I mean, that is almost sort of Robbie Fowler numbers and Luis Suarez numbers, almost like that. So I think he will sign a new contract. I think the numbers that are being mentioned, I think, are a little bit far off. I don't see him being offered 400k or anything like that, because I think Liverpool are a team that have a structure when it comes to wages. I think Salah's obviously I think the highest as well. But we'll say hello, Chris. Hope you're okay.
I'm sure he will be. He is there. He's there. He's everywhere. To be honest, I don't think he's not been everywhere.
He's a good lad, Chris. He is a good lad. I really respect him. And I'm sorry about there was a bit of trouble in one of the group chats we were in, I think, earlier. So hope you're okay and hope you're doing all right as well.
I hope you're well, Chris. Keep your comments coming in. Stevens also said, I thought I was watching Ed Sheeran for a moment there. Great show, guys. God,
I think you've lost count on that. I think you've lost count on how many times that's been said.
Honestly, I'm going to have to release an album. Mark says, United, oil, Scousers, Russia.
Not sure what that means.
That's definitely just gone past the both of us. Kraji.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Can you put that comment back up? Because I think I've worked it out now. He's going United, City, Liverpool, Chelsea.
Hey, I'll tell you what, I need to come to you when it comes to Cryptive. I'll message you whenever, when I say, I'm off out with the lads and the missus says fine, I'll see if you can let me know whether it's Cryptive or not. or whether she actually is fine.
Yeah, I got the Russia with Chelsea because of obviously Abramovich. Scousers obviously Liverpool. Actually, that's a very interesting spelling because Scousers
I'm
isn't spelled like
surprised that
that.
he actually thinks Newcastle will finish top at league.
I know.
Well, that's a mad prediction, is that?
That is mad. That is mad. That.
Craigie says he's going to Anfield on Saturday. Have a good time, enjoy it. I know a lot of Liverpool fans that are really gutted with the system there. With the balloting system and not being able to get tickets for the games and stuff. To be fair, I mean, it's really difficult, is that, because if you don't get a ticket for the game, how are you expected to get a ticket for another game when people are just going to accumulate more points, by getting chosen? It's a mad process, absolutely mad process. Patrick has said praying. I mean, he's praying for that Burnley win. You need to pray hard, my friend, and so do I. Chris is saying Liverpool have to walk alone as they can't drive because they have their wheels pinched at traffic lights. Standard, really, isn't it, Chris? That's just standard. That's one of those jokes that you pull out about Scousers when you've got nothing else to say. And he had to pinch him quickly because his tag were going to go off if he didn't get home by 9 or something. Something like that. Patrick says, loving this, lads. Great knowledge. Chris says, cheers, Doug. I think Joey's starting to make this an absolute 100% now. He's done it in the last two. Ginger Smurf. I mean, he's a lanky streak of piss anyway, so technically anybody's a Smurf to him. Chris says, Liverpool to win. Sorry, Dan. You don't need to apologise, mate. It's your prediction. If you think Liverpool are going to win, then that's totally fine. Obviously, the real business will be done at 12:30 on Saturday. But, who knows? Who knows? It's at Anfield, Burnley, Liverpool. It's always a tough fixture. I mean, touching on that, going back to last season, obviously the game there, I mean, as a Burnley channel, I have to bring it up if I don't, So, it was definitely one of those games, wasn't it, where it could have gone either way. But as the game went on, you could just see, it in the end, it almost felt like it was falling into our hands. To be fair, decisions you could see with Andy Robertson at the end of the game and his frustrations. I mean, what were your thoughts on that? Apart from obviously disappointed, probably come 90 minutes.
Well, obviously, I've mentioned Origi. I mean, how he basically blazed that off the bar when he could have basically rolled it under Nick Pope is beyond me. Look, I'll say it now. I thought Burnley defended very, very well. I thought they were very resolute. I thought Pope again. Nick Pope always has a good game against Liverpool. Whenever I've seen him play, he always seems to have a good game against us. So I fully expect him to thrive upon the crowd as well. But the more the game went on, the more this is the thing, we struggle against low block teams. There's been a big struggle there. Patrick, I think we haven't actually beaten Burnley since correct me if I'm wrong, 17-18. I think it was a 4-2 victory. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we haven't won against you guys at Anfield since then. So because there's been a couple of draws and then obviously the win last season. But the more that game went on, I felt Burnley were going to get something. It just nothing went right that night either. And I think to be fair, Burnley did deserve it. I think we only had like 1 or 2 shots at goal the whole game. And if you don't do it, you don't carve out chances, you don't score, unfortunately. So, but no, I thought Burnley deserved it on that day. Trust Sean Dyche to be the one to end the long run. But no, Burnley thoroughly deserved it, and I think that was one of the main reasons you actually stayed in that league, is because of that win at Anfield. Because I think if you hadn't have won. Okay, obviously, I know Fulham went down pretty late on. That extra 3 points, I think, was very, very key. So, obviously, considering that you started that trend, and then obviously I think it was Brighton, then it was City, then I think it was Fulham as well. Just so many teams were winning at Anfield, which was mad. But I think having fans back will be so key.
Yeah, massive. Um, Max obviously rooting for Bournemouth now. Up the cherries. No, up the clarets. Exactly. I know what you mean, Mark. Um, as I say, I mean, we'll talk about Klopp as a manager. A lot of people have had their doubts about him this season. I mean, what's your thoughts on him? Obviously, he's a very talented manager. It's whether he can do it consecutively and sort of keep that going. I mean, for me personally, last season, I felt that when you was languishing towards that latter stage, the season that you won the league, it was almost sort of like that whole season was a recovery. Like the burnout period was for a long period of time,
Yeah.
and you know, in the end, you managed to find that formula. Thought, right, we need to kick up the arse here, otherwise, you know, European nights at Anfield are out the question. And luckily, he managed to turn that round. But you'd expect that from a gaffer like Klopp. But do you expect more from Klopp? Do you expect him to be doing more than what he's currently done? I mean, obviously, last season was just one of those for a lot of teams. You know, it was probably our most testing season since being back up. So yeah, I mean, do you expect a bit more from Klopp?
I mean, when he first came into Liverpool, I think there was a certain amount expectation of him actually doing really well. I mean, we finished eighth in our first season, and then gradually got better. It was fourth, then second, and then obviously we won the league. Like I think the thing is, we had done so well for like the last four seasons because you win you go to the Champions League final, you lose that. Klopp went out and bought Alisson and then obviously Van Dijk, I think in January. Then won the Champions League. That was key. That was absolutely key. And then win the Premier League as well. There was always going to be that season where I think something was gonna happen. And unfortunately, it was to be that season. I think this is going to be a much better season. I do think Klopp is one of the best managers in this league for like getting a squad of players and actually getting them onto that next level. I think you look at Pep, you look at like Ollie. Yes, the money that they've spent. Obviously, I think any one of those clubs would obviously want to have a manager like Klopp, and I think Klopp would even do a good job with those sets of players. So I just feel that him doing it on a limited budget. Yes, I know we've spent money, and I know loads of people will get at me and say yes, Liverpool spent money in the past as well, but we've not actually spent that the 100 millions, the serious. Yes, obviously the last one was Van Dijk, and obviously we needed a centre back at that point. We needed a goalkeeper because you remember we had Simon Mignolet and Loris Karius, who weren't actually the two best goalkeepers anyway. So to get a player like Alisson in was very good. So I think I'm gonna look forward to this season, and I think look if he doesn't get anybody in, I still think he's got a very hard working squad. So I think they've had a full preseason under their belts now. I think we'll be fine going into this season. But yeah, I have no problems with Jurgen Klopp either. So I think he's. I think people did criticize him too much last season because he had 22 centre back partnerships, which was absolutely mad when you think about it.
Oh yeah,
so
massively.
I think Jurgen Klopp is still a very good manager. And when he goes, I may shed a tear because he's like Shankly. He's just like Shankly. He's just that charisma around the dressing room, charisma around the whole place. He just reminds me of Shankly so much, does Jurgen Klopp.
No, I don't blame you. To be fair, if he was to go, it was the same for me. A bit younger, when we lost Stan Ternent prior to all the managers we had before Dash, but he was a staple of the club. He was the last of a dying breed of manager that was he basically told the boardroom how it was run. He was the club, and that's what you want in a gaffer, someone that invests the time into the club, not just what's out there on the pitch. But yeah, I mean, I agree with what Mark said. To be fair, I can understand. I could see that. I could actually see that. I think Klopp would work with the sort of football that Fergie used to actually play. That sort of counter attack on the front foot football, which could have potentially worked. I mean, the Blue Podcast said, "Hey guys, how are you doing? We are good. We're all good. We sat here talking about the game, and we've not given our predictions yet. So stay tuned." And Doug's all good. He's looking slick. Look at him with that new haircut. He's smashing it. Look at that. Honestly, off camera, guys, you're like, this is like this with his eyebrows. More joking. It was fine. Stephen says Nick Pope turns into prime Peter Schmeichel when he plays against Liverpool.
Fact.
He's guaranteed to put in his world-class performance. Liverpool haven't won since 2018 against Burnley. Wow.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was that 4-2 game. It was when what's his face? I don't know if he's still there. Ashley Westwood scores directly from a corner.
Yeah.
That was the game. That was the game where I think you went 1-0 in front. And then we went 1-1, 2-1. And then I think it was 2-2. And then we scored 2 goals at the end, I think it was as well. That was a defensive mistake as well. Good old Phil Bardsley.
He's always got one in him a season, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Ankit, thank you for tuning in.
Hi,
Big up, guys. Hope you're well. Burnley wish you all the very best. Can you see all the love from these other big name teams here, Doug? Can you see what they're doing?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Yeah.
And then going from big clubs to Leicester, remember to smash the likes and subscribe to both these guys' channels. Thanks a lot, Chris. As Chris is saying there, please do head on over to Doug's channel. Show him some support. As I say, he does do a lot for other leagues, not just the Premier League, not just Liverpool. There's many different leagues, and he's extremely knowledgeable about it as well. So head on over there. Also, Chris, I'll give you a shameless plug and all since you put your comment up. Head on over to that little line of words there on his comment saying Leicester Till I Die TV. Head over to that channel if you're interested in some sort of fans that won the league once and they keep talking about this FA Cup nonsense and some English Super Cup apparently, something like that he keeps saying. But no, in all seriousness, show your support to every YouTube creator out there. No matter who you support, it means the world to us all. Ankit, I can imagine Klopp's Liverpool at Anfield. Ankit saying hi to Chris. Chris then saying, Jurgen Klopp, great manager, to be fair. One of those you've got to like, even for an opposing team. Yeah, I mean, I liked him even when he was, in that game that we won. There was that, the camera pan round to him and Dash having a bit of a disagreement in the tunnel. And, I don't think anyone knows about what that was all about. That nothing's really been said.
No idea.
It's definitely a strange one. But, I just thought, Jurgen Klopp, you've got the balls to turn around to this man. I don't know. It was just a Burnley fan perspective. Paul has said, I hope we start Vidra. We need that bit of explosive dynamism to go alongside Chris Wood. I totally agree. And I don't understand why Dash didn't do that against Brighton. He brought Ashley Barnes on, and then after the game came out and defended it and said that we needed a defensive-minded striker. What, a 2-1 down? I mean, we were 1-0 up. I mean, can you get a defensive striker? I mean, his job is to back into the defender and sort of knock it on. I mean,
I'll be honest with that. I was surprised at the defeat. I didn't expect you to lose to Brighton, in all honesty. I mean, I don't know what Mope's speaking about. Did you see what he said on Match of the Day? Like, he was basically, I think he was asked, do you think he was fouled? But if you actually look at the replay, he's looking nowhere near the ball. He wants to foul Tarkowski. So for me, I think Tarkowski does the right thing and actually, heads into the net. It wasn't a foul for me. I think last season with that VAR, Brighton get that decision, but I think they're obviously with the change to the the rules in VAR. I felt that actually Tarkowski did the right thing, but it was never a foul.
No, not at all.
Mopey was looking to foul his man all the time.
Yeah, I mean, even when he dropped, he was already asking for it on his way down. I agree, and fair point. You know, a fair shout to the referee at that point, because he could have easily disallowed that. But the first half of that game, we should have been 2-3-0 up, and we just didn't take our chances. Second half, as you say, you know, people say it's a game of two halves, and it definitely was. But the goals we conceded as well were ridiculously poor. You know, the defensive errors were poor, which could be vital for us this season, because we've sort of started getting more chances up top, but it's left little nicks that people are trying to creep into. But every time they do, it's paying off. And what is usually known for Burnley as a good, strong defensive unit, it's starting to be breached a little bit.
Yeah, I mean the Mopey goal's down your left hand side, isn't it? It's down.
The second one was exactly the same.
Oh, it was. Yeah, look, I think two really bad goals to concede, but as you say, you should have been 2-3 up. I think was it Goodmanson? Did he hit the post? He hit the post as well. Yeah, it's just it was so unlike Burnley for me. Like, I think people would probably have assumed that game would have probably been last on Match of the Day because of obviously like the two teams involved. Because my prediction was a 1-0 Burnley, because I thought, oh, Burnley at home, Burnley will do a Burnley and win, 1-0.
I actually missed the goal, to be fair, because every fan were trying to get into the stadium again with fans being back. It was literally chock-a-block to try and get in. So literally, as I was putting my ticket in to be scanned, I hears this roar, and I'm just like, crap. Gets up there. Yeah. So basically, I've seen us get beat 2-0, which is, great stuff. Mark says, Leeds and Liverpool are so similar in the way in which they are working so hard for every bit of success. To a degree, I can understand where you're coming from. I can understand where if Liverpool fans are a bit like, well, why are you dumbing us down to Leeds level? I can understand that, but no, I see what you mean in terms of there's that grit and desire to try and go out and work hard. Ankit says, reminds me, I need an haircut too. Nice, Doug. Mark also says, I'll go by my barbers and say I want the Doug haircut. That's it. You're starting a trend, mate. You're a trendsetter.
Trendsetter. I like it.
And Fozzie, hope you are well. Thank you for tuning in, Fozzie. Absolute legend. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be over on Fozzie and Laser's channel at 10 p.m. tonight, so catch me on there. After that, I'll just be like, and just filter into a cloud. And that's it. And then I'll probably hide away all weekend when we get thrashed. But anyway, Ankit says, great content, Dan. Congrats for the 150. Should triple. I bloody hope so. But we will see. People don't like Burnley, but hopefully they'll like me and they can like the content, etc. And if you can see shadows, it's because I don't have a little ring light. So I'm literally aiming a lamp towards my face. So it's very, very warm. So if I start to tan, which is very unusual for a ginger beast, we'll ring nan. Just ring nan. This bulb's getting quite warm. Chris says, gotta have love for Liverpool. Us L teams have to stick together. Hopefully, you'll be two teams that have a big fat L at the end of the results against us. And then, I agree. I would love them L teams even better. Mark says, congrats on 158. Cheers. Thanks a lot. Really does mean a lot. Fozzie, Burnley will go down 3-0. Strong prediction there, Fozzie, mate. Strong prediction. I can see it, to be fair. But I think we need to pick me up after that Brighton game. We know where the errors were. We need to kick on, and it's at Anfield, so we will dig deep. Ankit says, yes, I suggest Doug's and Chris's 2. Top stuff. Mark says, Dash probably said, I've only got £2 to spend in the transfer window. No, he's actually come out and said that there is irons in the fire. The Maxwell Cornet from Lyon deal is still alive and happening. You know, there is reports in France saying that he's not interested and he wants to move to Hertha Berlin. But who knows? Who knows? You know, if the pay packet's right, no player's going to say no other. I mean, look at the guy who left top goal scorer in League Two to get promoted into League One to then drop down to Wrexham. Clearly, money talks. Money talks. Yeah. Stephen has said, Liverpool 2, Burnley 0 for me, Salah and Jota. We need some revenge for when Burnley stops us winning all 18 games at Anfield. I mean, yeah, I don't like to talk about it, really. You know what I mean? It's just one of them things. Fozzie says, Doug, do you think we can challenge this season, even though we haven't made any attacking signings?
Yes, I do. Yes, I honestly do. I think if you keep Salah, Mane, Firmino fit, I think Jota to come in as well. You know, Ox to come in as well. I think we've got a really, really good squad. And the one thing that really I want this season is hopefully the goals will be shared out a little bit more, because I felt Salah last season kind of Salah kind of bailed out Firmino and Mane last season. So I think with fans back, I think Mane and Firmino are going to have a better season.
No, totally agree. Also, Fozzie, thanks for tuning in. We'll get some more of your comments up as well. But yeah, guys, check out Fozzie's channel as well. Check out his mate Laser's channel, and both of them combined also run unscripted football talk. Head on over there as well. Show them some support. Mark says, yes, both my teams have Southampton United versus Saints Sunday, Newport versus Saints on Wednesday. So, tasty. Who's going to come out winners? Are Saints going to win any of them? I think Mark's hoping not. Fozzie saying, Doug, will it be easier this season to break down a deep line defence?
I bloody hope so, because the like Burnley, Brighton, I think Fulham, like they're really, really like low block teams. So I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. I think to do this game, I think Firmino has to start. I think Jota is more attacking, and I don't really want him to like be going into like a Tarkowski or a Kevin Long or like a Ben Mee. So for me, I think Firmino, we need that creativity, and I think Firmino has that in his locker. So for me, I'd play Firmino over Jota in this game.
That's interesting, because Jota had a really good game, didn't he, against Norwich?
Well, you would say that, but I thought apart from the goal, I think his attacking play was left to be a lot to be desired. He's not quite that Firmino. And for me, Jota's not a striker. He's not a striker. Yeah. I think Jota was brought in to be like a Mane or a Salah replacement, and I think he's not a striker. So for me, he's not a natural number 9 as Jota. But yeah, I think look, I'm nothing wrong against Jota. I think he's a cracking player, but for me, he's just not a natural number 9, in my opinion.
No.
Honestly.
No, everyone's entitled to an opinion, and that's fair enough. Talk, how are you? Hope you're well. Thank you for tuning in. Honestly, guys, absolutely amazing fella. So, Talk, thanks again for coming on the channel. Mark says Southampton 0, United 9, Newport 1, Southampton 0. I really wanted to read that out like a video printer.
I don't think that is good. I don't think it'll be 9-0. I do think United will win, sadly, but I don't think it'll be 9.
No, the way I read that, I was just like, Southampton 0, Manchester United 9, Newport 1, Southampton 0. Mark says, I rate Bobby Harley. Who's Bobby Harley? Never heard of him. But no, I know who you mean. Bobby Firmino. I mean, would you happily sell Firmino to accommodate a better striker, or do you think that he needs to stay as well as another striker. But would he be happy with second fiddle if he brought someone strong enough?
I think he is as happy as he can be, if I'm being honest with you. I think there were a lot of talk about Firmino last season. People are saying he's finished, he's not going to score goals. But for me, I wouldn't sell him. I would still keep him. Yes, I know that obviously Mane, Salah, and Firmino are going to be mid-30s by the end of next season, but it's all about focusing on the future. But for me, I wouldn't sell Firmino. Talk of like Atletico Madrid. There was talk of like Bobby is the glue to our attack. If Bobby
Yeah.
doesn't play well, Mane and Salah don't play very well. So for me, no, Bobby is the glue to Mane and Salah.
No, I can understand why. I mean, obviously, a lot of people have said. I think it was on Sky Sports News when someone was saying about we need Mbappe, bring Mbappe, and it's not. It's not going to happen. Trust me. If it was announced tomorrow, don't worry. I think everyone would be happy as a pig in shit. But from the Liverpool area anyway. But yeah, I mean, you can't see it's. Could it happen in a few years? Maybe. Is it going to be dragged out like a Sancho to United?
The only way I can see it is if one of the front three goes, and I honestly don't see it happening. I mean, there's talk about Haaland potentially. Those rumours came back as well. I honestly don't know. I don't think Mbappe's happening. So I think there's been talk that Real Madrid are in for him, which is ironic because Real Madrid are cash strapped apparently.
Yeah.
So
the thing is though, the king of Spain is a massive Real Madrid fan. So if he wants to bail them out, he will. It's Barcelona. He'd obviously let them just go. So who knows?
Yeah. But no, honestly, to answer your question, I don't think it's happening.
Nah. Fozzie says, Dan, what's Burnley's ambitions this season? I mean, I thought you'd have asked me this on the channel, but who knows? You may get two different answers. I'll give you one now, and I'll think of a really, really well thought out, drawn answer later, maybe. But I mean, ambition this season for us. After last season, it's just a better finish than 17th. I think you've got to look at it as at that. We've got a same midfield that was playing Aberdeen 3 seasons ago in a European tournament. We've not had any major first team players come in and take over. Josh Brownhill's only getting game time because we're having to play him on the right wing because we've got no wingers. There's talks that we're going to re-sign Aaron Lennon on a short-term deal because, we're struggling. We are struggling, which is absolute madness. He's been training with us. He's played in a couple of the friendlies. He was there against Brighton. We saw him walk across the pitch. He was obviously part of the sort of like Dash obviously invited him in around it, but he wasn't named or anything or on the bench. Nothing's been announced. But you can see it happening. You can see it happening. Dash has 1 year left on his contract. There's talk that that's already been sorted, and it's just a case of finding a perfect time to announce it. It wouldn't surprise me if it's been done and dusted and Burnley use it in January as this massive sort of like big announcement so that we can forget about the rest of the transfer window. Which, I mean, what's a transfer window to Burnley, to be fair? We're still licking the first window, to be honest, let alone transfer window. But yeah, Burnley's ambitions this season definitely have to be anything better than 17th. Couple more questions. Mark says, I would be sick, Dan, if that happened. I mean, who knows? Fozzie says, the players are shattered and didn't have a pre-season last season. Now they've had a rest and pre-season plus fans back. Things will be different. Yeah, it's almost like everything's just, come together, and who knows what Liverpool could do or what they're capable of this year. It's going to make for an interesting season this season, and I think Manchester City need to be wary of the teams around them because there's a lot of teams that have strengthened. City thought they could run away with it. I think Jack Grealish is going to be a flop at Manchester City. I think you've took a good player from Aston Villa, but Manchester United took Zaha, a good player from Palace, and it didn't
It's
work.
it's like saying that whenever Villa wanted to, like, Villa were always relying on Grealish to make something, absolutely make something.
Yeah,
I think the differences between Villa and City, I think City's goals are shared out, so they're going to be the fans are going to be expecting to see what he can do. Look, I actually thought he had an okay game against Spurs. Okay, not really brilliant, but I tell you something. I tell you something. I think you would not too far off by saying he could be a flop. He's that kind of player where I think he needs. I think at Villa, he was the main man at Villa. At City, he's
yeah.
not going to be that.
That's what I mean.
So
That's why I'm saying that the connection between, when Wilfred Zaha went to Manchester United, it was, you took the best player out of a team that is literally like a team that's built around him.
yeah,
You've took him out of that environment, and it didn't work. It didn't work
yeah,
to the point that Zaha ended up going back to Palace. You
hmm
know, the thing is at City, no matter what, whether Grealish is a flop, it, it's not so much a flop of in terms of the goal ratio. He's
yeah,
always going to do pretty well, because I'm not being funny, but you could put me and you in that position in that Man City team, and they'd still get a result.
yeah,
So in terms of a flop, I mean that he's not going to be hitting the hearts that he has with Aston Villa. He's going to sort of become a forgotten man, and is that going to infect his appearances when he comes to the international stage? Who
hmm
knows? It's all a waiting game. Um, Max says Villa are arguably a better team without Grealish, as they are now a team, not Grealish overshadowed now with Emi Buendia, Bailey, Ings, McGinn, Watkins, and a lot more. The thing is, it is another one of those. It could go either way. It's a bit like
yeah,
Spurs with Kane. You know, it it could have almost a Denmark effect where the teams sort of rally around after losing a big key
hmm
hitter, and it works out. I mean, they've spent the money wisely at Villa, so fair play to them. Who knows? Fozzie says that Jack Grealish will slow them down. Mark says last season was irrelevant, defined by City winning the league. Yeah, it has just been one of those seasons. I mean, taking it back to Liverpool versus Burnley, Doug. I mean, who should who should we who should we Burnley actually look out for? Who do you think is going to be your main threat?
I think that's pretty damn obvious, isn't it? It's Salah for me.
Allison from
Um,
set pieces. I knew you were going to say it.
yeah, that West Brom goal was just something else. I actually remember watching that, and I thought it was Nat Phillips that actually scored that to begin with, but no, look, I think Mohamed Salah for sure. Mohamed Salah became the first player ever actually to score five consecutive times on an opening day as well. As we said off air, his numbers are absolutely astronomical when it comes to Liverpool appearances as well. Mane for me, I think Mane always seems to have a good game against Burnley. Scored against Jesus at I think Turf Moor a couple of seasons back as well,
Yeah,
and he obviously scored it against Jesus at Anfield as well. Um, I don't know. It's quite interesting. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold's definitely a danger man as well, from obviously free kicks and obviously set pieces as well. Also look out for Costas Tsimikas. I know that obviously Andy Robertson won't be fit for this game, but he seems to have done well to get himself back into contention as well. Van Dijk, I think, is another one. I think the one thing we
Van
missed
Dijk
last
just doesn't
season.
need an intro, does he? Really, he's just
No,
a man
no.
mountain, an absolute
Um,
physical beast.
and I'm actually going to say Joe Matip as well. I think Matip last week against Norwich was absolutely outstanding. He seems to have had a good pre-season so far. So I am looking forward to seeing if you can defend set pieces with Matip and Van Dijk. But Yeah, I think across the whole squad, I think we've got a good team. Fabinho for me is one of the best DMs in the league, probably ahead of. I mean, Leicester fans probably say Ndidi's probably the best CDM, and then obviously City fans would probably say Fernandinho. But for me, I think Fabinho is the best DM for me. If he is fit, I would say Thiago. I think we are needing that creativity, and I don't think we had him last time. I think when we played you, so hopefully that Thiago can do some magic. But I think I think you'll come to Anfield to probably uh, be resolute, be very very defensive, and then counter us on the counter attack. And I think we're going to need that creativity to try and break through that low block that we always seem to struggle against.
Max says Fabinho's got nothing on McFred. I mean, the less said about McFred, the better. I mean, even
Yep.
McDonald's don't sell anything called McFred. That's how shit it is. They've not even accepted it as a McDonald's sort of selling point. Um, Obviously, in counteracting who you think your danger man is, where do you think Burnley are going to be dangerous against you? And
Well,
who would you single out?
Chris Wood. I mean, Chris Wood for me is a very very good striker. There's no denying that. Ashley Barnes as well. I think there's no denying that. Dwight McNeil's like a good one as well. I think he's a bit of a danger man. Your whole backline really danger from set pieces. Tarkowski, whether it's Long, whether it's Ben Mee, they've still got a very very good squad. Eric Peters seems to be under the radar as well, a little bit. So that could be an interesting battle, him and Trent. So I think Pope. Yeah, but Nick Pope hasn't scored from a corner yet, so that would be interesting to see if he does
It's
that.
just your luck, that Pope will crop up with a 90th minute winner.
Just imagine it. I could just imagine that right now.
Absolute scenes.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Wood, Tarkowski, Barnes, me, um, Westwood, I would say, because we all know what Westwood's like at corners,
Yeah, he's got a
especially
really good delivery.
got a really good delivery, and I'd say Dwight McNeil.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen there's evidence of Dwight McNeil sending Trent Alexander-Arnold for an hot dog.
Yeah.
It's just one of those. Both teams on the day obviously want to win. It's only the second game of the season, but it's still a Premier League fixture. There's still 3 points to be won at the end of the day. So that said, while you're there drinking your fake water, supping neat vodka with your fresh-looking haircut, what are you predicting?
Water.
You lying little bastard.
It's water. I can tell you, I don't drink vodka, so the only thing I drink is probably beer or cider. I can tell you that. I don't drink vodka.
So, what would you say? Your prediction?
I think you will score because you always seem to score against us at Anfield. I remember being at a game where I think Yossi Benayoun scored a hat trick, and that was about 4-0 when you had like big Brian Jensen in goal. So I remember that. Beast. I'm going 2-1 Liverpool. I think we'll probably take a little bit of time to get if we get an early goal, then obviously the floodgates could well open then, but. I just feel with the danger you guys have from set pieces, obviously Chris Wood, Ashley Barnes, Dwight McNeil, J Rodriguez as well, another one who seems to like a goal against us at Anfield. Idiot. But what I will say, I'm going to say 2-1. I'm going to go Mohamed Salah and Bobby Firmino to score for us, and I'm actually going to go for a good Munson goal for Burnley.
Ooh, interesting. Interesting for anybody that loves a cheeky flutter out there. There's definitely some money to be won on a Goodmanson goal anyway. But yeah, is it wrong that I'd take a 2-1 defeat at Anfield even so early on? I'd take that. Obviously, away from home, I think no matter what, no matter who you're playing away from home, a point's a point on the road, isn't it? And you take that. So yeah, I would take a point. But I'm on my own channel, and I'm gonna be an absolute, Burnley till I die sort of comment. And I'm going to stick my neck on the line and say this time we go one better than the 1-0, and we have a shock result. A shock result of the weekend. We go to Anfield and win 3-1.
Wow. That's bold. That is very, very
mate,
bold. But...
So am I, mate. So am I. Freshly. I had an haircut too. I had a haircut too. It was growing back. I was springing a few hairs like an onion, honestly.
It's just anything can happen. Anything can happen. I mean, I hate the fact that people are actually saying Liverpool are going to win this comfortably. There's never an easy game when you play Burnley. Never an easy game. You're in for a battle. You're in for a real hard test for me. So yeah.
All I'm going to say is, Doug, that the numbers on this channel have dwindled since I said 3-1. Literally, they're like, what a deluded idiot. And they've dwindled. Joey says, drinky smurf. Mate, I mean, I must be a drunky smurf thinking flaming, thinking 3-1. But I'm on a Burnley channel. I'm on my channel. I'm saying 3-1 now. Get me on everybody else's channel. I'm gonna have different predictions all over the house. Trust me. I'm having all angles covered. I'm not putting money on it, so why not cover my own arse? And then I can just screenshot it then and say, look, I got it right.
Aye, but as I was saying, you always have a battle against Burnley. So no matter what team you come up against, Sean Dyche's teams are very, very resolute. So I expect a really, really hard game for us on Saturday. And yes, 12:30 kickoff as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
It is. It's going to be an interesting one. It's definitely going to be an interesting one. And like people have seen, people have seen the meme. Just heed the words of Mahatma Gandhi, will you? Never back the early kickoff. Never back the early kickoff. It's an absolute killer. An absolute killer. It happened to me on the opening day of the weekend, and it made me realise, don't do it again. Don't do it again, no matter who it is. Funnily enough, it was Rangers against Dundee.
Oh no!
It was it killed me. Absolutely killed me. You'd have put your mortgage on it, but yeah, it let me down. The missus is still watching, which means obviously there's no tea being made. That's not sexist, by the way. It's just she knows I've got about 5 podcasts to do, so time's ticking and that. Unless she's ordered, then happy days. I'm on 154. Happy days. I hope that's not the channel.
Might have got a few subscribers from me then. I noticed there were a couple of people. Cian Dolan, I think, was one of them that was in there. So yeah, I mean, obviously the more the merrier. Really, I've obviously shared this in my community tab. I'll probably share mine on my community tab as well. So yeah, it's more the merrier. And you're slowly growing. It's a marathon, not a sprint, as somebody once told me. So
exactly. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are doing this because they just want to get to monetization. They want to start thinking about all that. Listen, I'm not bothered. Yes, okay. I'm more happy at just seeing the numbers go up because it shows that a lot of people are watching and engaging and things like that. And as I say, there's going to be more stuff. That's the more exciting thing. That's the most exciting thing.
That's like me as well. Like I only do it for a hobby. I've got a job. It's I work most weeks anyway. So when I have the time to do live streams and obviously recorded videos, then obviously I will do them. But obviously I think work does take a lot of our time. But no, I love doing YouTube as a hobby.
Yeah, same. As I say, it's got to a point now where I've had to, I've had to invest in a diary, make sure I get everything written down, whose channels I'm on, who I've said yes to, since I'm starting to lose it a little bit. I mean, I'm only 30 this weekend, but Christ's sake, the man's going already.
Funnily enough, you were like to me, oh, just remind me when I'm on Douglas's channel. Just remind me. And I said 6 o'clock. All right, I'll write this down. I'll write this down. And then I was like, remind me when Douglas is on your channel. And I was like, oh yeah, 4 p.m. 4 p.m. So yeah, it's quite a handy wee thing to have anyway.
It is. It is. As I say, I'm crossing them out as I go through, although I'm fading them out. But yeah, more importantly, obviously, good luck for the rest of the season, other than Saturday, clearly,
Likewise.
and the return leg, obviously. But Mark says best Burnley content creator. I mean, I think I'm the only fan not on YouTube. I know there's one or two more, but no, that's a bold statement, and I will accept it because it makes a little person in me like woohoo, love it. So yeah, thank you very much for that. That really does mean a lot. Touching words. Talk says, just enjoy it, Dan, because we can all see that you are doing this for the right reasons. Yeah, we are. We're just doing it to. The fact that I'm literally I'm chock-a-block today, or I'm fully booked up. I don't even have time for Mrs. or kids. That's how bad it's getting. That's how much this hobby sucks you in. But no, seriously, guys, it really does mean a lot. So thank you for the support. Ankit says multitasking, but great to hear as well. I mean, I don't know what you're multitasking doing. I mean, are you staring at both of us while you're in awe, or just one of us? I mean, you did say multitasking, so I'm guessing it's both.
Yeah, you'll need to say why, Ankit. You'll need to say why, because
what exactly are you up to, Ankit?
That comment could actually be read in so many interesting ways.
It definitely could. I mean, we'll finish on the fact that this game's always going to be tough. And there's fans out there that will say, nah, I'm not having it. We should wipe the floor with Burnley. But, again, even it comes to something when Burnley are playing Liverpool, and even I'm optimistic of going there and potentially getting something, which I know full well season in, season out, we'll go to Manchester City and just turn over, lie in our bellies and get tickled. But, against Liverpool, we somehow just seem to fire. And I don't know whether it's the fact that there's not far to travel. Maybe if Dash made them swim the canal there, you might have a chance of trousing us, but who knows?
Swim the Mersey. That would be interesting.
It would, wouldn't it? Ankit says, good stuff, keep it going. I'm multitasking, guys, while hearing. I don't know whether he's just made that worse or better. But no, Ankit and everybody in the comments, everybody that hasn't even put in a comment but is watching, thank you very much for tuning in. As we say, it does mean a lot that you're giving us your support. Over 150 subs now. Let's smash that 200 subs. That'll be absolutely amazing. Doug, only thing I've got to say is thank you very much for coming on. I will see you. Don't know when it'll be. A couple of days. Less than an hour, mate.
Yeah.
Less than an hour.
52 minutes, in fact.
And counting. I love it.
Yeah.
So cheers for coming on. Obviously, I'll see you
My
over
pleasure.
on yours. But another plug for your channel, and thanks for your support as well.
Oh, absolute pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure. Obviously, you know where I am, and obviously, if you need help with the YouTube scene of things, I'll be happy to lend you a hand. It is the Dugout Football Channel, and as I've said, I have this lovely man to my left in 52 minutes over on my channel, so come and check out our preview as well. You can find me on Twitter at nrod_1992. It will be somewhere. I know it is somewhere there. And you can find me on Instagram at Douglas Stallhorn, and I'm on Facebook at Douglas James Horn.
Smashing. So as we do say, go and head over there, show Doug your support. His link is in the description as well if it makes things easier for you. So do head on over there and show him out. Check him out. Not show him out. Welcome him in. Welcome him in. Don't show him out. Tight gets. Welcome him in. Go to his channel. Obviously, Burnley will be, wearing their away kit for the first time this season. At Anfield, so why not put on a performance in it? Why not? I mean, just
That's rather smart, actually. I have to say,
like it.
I really like that. I see you've taken an absolute age to get one out, so it's kind of stopped me from actually doing an away kit video. But I'll get that on the go, and that'll be out later next week.
Oh, massively. So there you go. There's already Doug's away kit video soon to be coming to a YouTube screen near you soon. Do check that out. As I say, a lot of people have said it looks very baseball t-shirt-esque. And, is that sort of, like the New York Yankees baseball sort of?
I don't think so. I mean, Umbro are a good kit supplier anyway.
It could be worse. We could have Puma.
The only thing I probably don't like about that kit is the sponsor. I think the sponsor's a little bit too big, but everything apart from that is nice. I like the lines going down it as well. So yeah, I really like that. I think it's a lot better than most kits anyway. Chelsea's away kit looks like mustard, in all honesty.
So I use a mustard background on the Burnley kit.
But it's not as worse as the third Man City kit. Have you seen that? Oh my goodness me!
The Puma kits are horrendous. We had Puma a few years back, and we've dodged a bullet, massively dodged a bullet with that one. Although we would have had a third kit out now, so I don't know whether it swings and roundabouts. But I suppose in a way, no third kit than that kit would have been 10 times better. Again, thanks for coming on. I will see you in less than an hour. Again, everybody, thank you for your support. It's been absolutely amazing. He's been Doug. I've been Dan. And thanks for tuning in to Turf Moorhouse TV. Cheers, pal.
Cheers.